stories you're about to hear are made up by Cliff Oliver. They're fairy tales. I got a real good imagination. The stories you're about to hear are made up. They're fairy tales by Cliff Oliver. Yeah, I'm a wannabe thug, a wannabe gangster. And the stories is made up. I got good talk game. I got good talk game, y'all. The stories are made up. They're not real. Was it nonfiction or fiction? I don't know which one's real and which one's not real. Nonfiction or fiction. But the stories are not real. They're made up. They're tall tales. Alright, so we're gonna get in story time with Cliff Oliver and Nelly Nell. We just used to go around, stealing like bikes and going to the Salvation Army when they donate stuff at nighttime, and we get to we dig through all the bags and get what we want, and we'll go to nearest shopping center, get a buggy, push it back to the Salvation Army. And when people drop off stuff at nighttime, we find all kinds of good clothes, furniture, all kinds of stuff. He'd climb in the bin, the white bins. He could fit in the white bins. Like back then, both of us were skinny, but I didn't want to climb in there. He would climb in there and throw the bags out, and we would just go through, get all kinds of nice jackets, shirts, jeans, shoes, all kinds of other stuff, furniture, yeah. And then we go in people's sheds and walk out with their lawnmowers and their weed eaters and stuff, and then if they leave something on the porch like a radio or something, but like if they left stuff on their porch like a radio or something, we would go in there and get it. We would run all over town. I would go with him in Walmart or the Salvation Army or one of them shopping centers. He would put on like 10, not like 10 jackets, but a bunch of jackets, and walk out with the jackets. Or he'd go in he'd push the shopping cart around, put a bunch of clothes on, and then walk out with the clothes on up under his clothes. And then I would go with him all over town, door to door, while he was selling the clothes. He'd be selling the clothes, and we just all over town. He was steadily hustling. Like me, when I stole the stuff, I furnished my crib with it. When he stole the stuff, he would make money off the stuff, but me, I would just furnish my crib with the stuff I stole. Like I tell him, don't touch my half of the stuff. Don't touch my half. If you touch my stuff, there's gonna be problems. You know what I'm saying? But yeah, and we were just little thieves running around town. Yeah, we were just little thieves running around town stealing everything. Yeah, I found CD player just sitting at the bus stop and walked off with him. Yeah. What else was it? Hold on, let me think of other stuff. Yeah, think of other stuff. The one dope dealer got busted. A dope dealer got busted, and we snuck in his house and everything. Crept through the bushes, snuck in his house, and went through all of his good stuff and everything, and got his good stuff. Then crept back out through the bushes. Yeah, because he had his drug dealing buddies across the street watching the spot. So you know what I'm saying. We didn't want them to know it was us and cause heat in the hood and everything. But yeah, well, we was little thieving. Whenever we get a bike, we take a bike, ride the bike. We just ride the bike until it broke down. Then go steal another bike straight on UK campus. Go get another bike. That break down, we go get another. We just leave it on the side of the road when it will break down. Well, we would go to soup kitchens. And we'd take aluminum foil, and we'll take aluminum foil with us, and we'll load up like 5, 6, 7 plates of food. I take a backpack, he'll take a plate, and we'll just wrap it up in aluminum foil, and then put it in a backpack, and just keep going up for seconds, thirds, fourths, fifths, sixths, and just stack it up in a backpack, take it home, put it in our refrigerator. So I have food stamps and everything. I have food stamps, but I would always let my food stamps stock up. You know what I'm saying? Just let them stack up. You know what I'm saying? At times I had like $900 on food stamps and wouldn't even spend it. Would just go to soup kitchens, the needed soup kitchens. Yeah, but you can't do that no more. You can't stack your food stamps like that no more. Yeah. They won't. They let you only stack like for 2 months, and then they just won't put no more on there. Yeah. I was we was just little thieves running around town. Let me think of some other stuff we did. Think of some other stuff. Those was a hold up. That we were there was a one homeless dude. We were every time we go to the soup kitchen, we'd cut to the front of the line, and the homeless dude was like, he said, dude, you gonna get to the back of the line. You ain't gonna cut in front of us like that. I looked, I said, who you talking to, dude? I shoved him down the steps. He fell on all kinds of other homeless dudes. He staggered over to the side. I jumped off the rail, pulled a knife on him, run in with a knife. The preacher got in front of me. The preacher like, nah, don't do it. So the preacher's keeping me from stabbing him and everything. But I was just trying to scare dude. I wasn't going to stab dude. I was just trying to scare dude. And then, his buddy rode up. He had this big old homeless dude rode up on me. He rode up on me while I was at the transit center. Days later, maybe a week later. I don't remember how long it was. It was like maybe a week in between after that incident happened. His big old homeless buddy rode up on me. So get in that bathroom, boy. His homeless buddy talking about, get in that bathroom. He said, you don't know what I'm going to do to you. I'm going to make you suck my dick. I'm going to make you do all this. He's telling me what he's going to do to me. He's sexual shit. Talking about, yeah, you going to end up at Eddyville. I'm going to get you. And I just looked. I said, dude, leave me alone. I said, just leave me alone, man. Just leave me. I kept telling him, leave me alone. And then I shoved him. I just finally shoved him. He flew over, busted his back on the little seats at the transit center with the metal rails where you put your hands and everything. His back cracked like, and he fell up against a dude. I fell up against this big old black dude. The black dude turned around. I'm just standing there looking like, where'd I get that strength from? You know what I'm saying? Dude get up and walk out just looking at me like, where this little dude get that strength from? Yeah. He was talking gay to me, trying to get me in the bathroom and everything, talking about I was going to end up at Eddyville, talking about I was going down the wrong path, talking about he's going to get me at Eddyville. Yeah, and I shoved the shit out. He busted his back all up, got up, fell on dudes, got up, walked off, you know what I'm saying? Looking at me all crazy. Yeah. I used to get heck of another fight I got in. I got in a fight with this dude out of, this was by myself. This was before I met my homeboy. I got in a fight with this dude out East End. He was a golden glove boxer. Big old cut up dude, you know what I'm saying? Had some blow to his chest and his biceps. And he was talking crap to one of my friends that was staying with me. He was talking crap to him. I'm like, dude, I said, I'm just looking at him. He's like, what the fuck you looking at, nigga? He's like, what the fuck you looking at? I said, hold up, nigga. I said, who the fuck you talking to? He said, I'm talking to you, little nigga. So I walk on over there, and he's like, he said, step in his backyard. All of his homies was out in the porch. He said, step in his backyard. So I took my knife out of my pocket, threw my knife in the ground. I said, I'm coming back, man. Stepped in the backyard. Me and dude square up. All of his homeboys standing around. We square up. Dude pieced me up a couple times. Every time he pieced me up a couple times, I swing him, boom, and knock him on his back. Every time I connected with him in the face, knock him on his back. He get back up, piece me up a couple times, boom, and hit him again, knock him on his back. This dude was golden glove. You know what I'm saying? This dude was freaking golden glove, and every time I connected with him, knock him on his back. But anyways, everybody, my friends is staying with me, turned on me, trying to say I lost the fight. Every time I beat the crap out of somebody, half the city was telling the truth about what happened, striking fear in the city. The other half of the city was lying, so he got his ass whooped. Now I would get my ass whooped most likely. I'll probably get my ass whooped now, but back then I want to get my ass whooped. Yeah, the whole city, half the city tell the truth and strike fear in half the city, and the other half of the city said, nah, I seen the fight, he got his ass. I got in a fight with this big old tall dude down at the transit center. This big old tall light-skinned dude. And anyways, it started on Valentine's Day. I was giving this girl I was messing with, I gave her a teddy bear and some roses and some heart candies on Valentine's Day. The chocolate heart candies that come in heart. But just the day before that, I was walking. Somebody made me mad and everything. And the dude was walking. I bumped into him and said, "Dude," I said, "you get out the way when I'm coming through." I said, "You get out the way when I'm coming through." He said, "Dude, who you think you are?" I said, "It don't matter who the fuck I think I am." I said, "You get the fuck out the way when I come through." You know what I'm saying? And because somebody made me mad earlier that day, he said, all right, he just left. He walked off, and his homeboy was looking at me. He was looking at me. Then he walked off. A couple days later, I'm down at the transit center chilling, giving my girl a Valentine's Day present. He come back. He looking at me and everything. He get off the bus, it's him and his homeboys. He said, "What, you got beef, little nigga? You got beef?" I said, "Yeah, I guess I got beef then." He said, "Square up, little nigga." So we square up. We square up. he hit me in the jaw like 3 times, and I started laughing. I just started laughing, and then I just snapped and went after him, grabbed him by his jacket, slung him on the ground, started pop, 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 just beating the crap out of him. My bad, I slung him up against the wall first, then took him up from the wall, slung him on the ground. As he was going to the ground, he hit the steps, then hit the ground, and then he get back up and everything, and then we fighting and everything. And he's trying to hit me, and all he's hitting is the walls behind me. I'm ducking and dodging. He's hitting the walls on the transit center walls behind me, and then then I jump over here, run over here, turn around, face him, square up, and then he pulls out his knife and said, "Little nigga, you better get to walking. You better get to walking." He said, "Because he said you keep on, I'm end up killing you." You know what I'm saying? So I said, "All right." And then as I got to walking, as I left, police was pulling up, and police was pulling up, and I was walking, so yeah, I left the scene. By the time they was pulling up, I was already up through the transit steps, going through the top of the transit steps and going across the bridge back home to East End. You know what I'm saying? Yeah, I was in a lot. I got a lot of stories. Yeah, I got more stories than that. Yeah, I got more stories than that. Yeah, me and my homeboy, yeah, we just said, well, we just little thieves. Everybody thought, well, he was a crackhead. I wasn't a crackhead. He was a crackhead, but I wasn't. But because I hung with him, everybody else thought I was a crackhead. Yeah, and then people would lie and say they sold me dope and all this stuff. I'm like, dude, I was like, this dude. I said, you ain't never seen me buy dope off none of them people. And then they was like, oh, you're a sneaky crackhead. You be having somebody else buy the dope for you, so nobody knows you're a crackhead. I'm like, but they start calling me a crackhead because I was hanging with my boy and he was a crackhead. We was taking everything that wasn't nailed down. You know what I'm saying? Yeah, but yeah. But there's other stories too. There's a lot of other stories too. There's a lot of other stories too. Yeah, a lot of fighting stories and a lot of other stories. Yeah. But now, if I got now, I don't get in fights no more. If I got in a fight now, I'm not half the man I used to be. I'm not half the man I used to be. I'll probably get my ass whooped now if I got in a fight. If I got in a fight now, I would get my ass whooped. Yeah. I'm not half the man I used to be back in my early 20s and mid 20s. Yeah. I let it. And no, Nelly, now I don't do stuff like that no more. I ain't did nothing like that in like 9 years. I ain't did nothing like that in like 9 years since I've been on my medication, Nelly. So no, I don't do stuff like that no more. So yeah, those are just old fairy tales. Those are old fairy tales of some of the stuff I used to do. Yeah. Nah, I don't do stuff like that no more, Nelly. Now, and we probably stole from other places, but I can't think of the stories right now. We probably stole from other places and other things. I can't think of what we used to do, everything we used to do. Yeah. Oh, one time I ain't gonna tell about where I broke in there. I ain't gonna tell when I broke in there. Yeah, that's incriminating. I broke in this one place. Hold up. I'm gonna tell you a story. I broke in this one place. I busted out one window. I'm not gonna say what the place was. I busted out one of the windows, and then I went and got some garbage cans and set up 4 garbage cans, set them up in front of the window so when nobody see me. I climbed in a little tiny square in the window. It didn't even look like a kid could fit. That's how skinny I was. It didn't even look like a kid could fit through that window. I climbed into this little tiny square. Took a bunch of Debbie cakes, tried to break in the freezers to get the cheese. There was a big blocks of cheese in there. Couldn't break in the freezer, so I took a bunch of giant Jif jars of peanut butter, and I took two Easter baskets of candy. Yeah, and then left through the front door, and as I was opening the front door, a homeless dude was sleeping right there. He said, "Oh, is it open, man?" He said, "Is it open?" I said, "Yeah, they open." I came outside. There was 2 police officers posted up right there at the end of the building, and I just walked across the street, got on my bike. I just walked across the street, got on my bike, and rode off. They was just patrolling. They was talking about if they see somebody with a gun, fire on sight, shoot on sight. So they apparently some shooting happened out there, but they was just posted up right at the end of the building. Yeah, as I was coming out the door, I climbed in through the window, left out through the front door. Police was right at the end of the building. Didn't even see me coming out. Got on my bike and rode off. Yeah. I can't say what the building was though. It'd be incriminate. It'd be incriminate. Yeah. I don't do stuff like that no more, Nelly. I do not do stuff like that no more. Yeah. But my homeboy told me he want me to roll with him when he be selling all that stuff he be boosting. He want me to roll with him to a trailer parking out Winburn and West End and East End. He said, because when I'm standing in the people's apartments while he trying to sell stuff to them, he said they said people were scared of me. He said people were scared of me and they tend to give him more money for a pair of jeans or a pair of shoes or one of them fitted caps he would get. He get these fitted caps at the Dollar Tree. These New York Yankee fitted caps. You know what I'm saying? They was $3 a piece, but he paid for those. He didn't boost those. He paid for those and sold those for $10 to $20 a piece. But he said people tend to give him more money. But when I was standing in the room, because back then, I mean, yeah, I was intimidating back then. I looked messed up in the head back then, and now I just look like a little teddy bear. Now I just look like a teddy bear now. Yeah, but I was intimidating back then. Yeah, had all kinds of muscles in my jaws and these puncture wounds. Where I had these puncture wounds where I was always looking down and looking up at somebody with this crazy look in my eye, you know, and puncture wounds in between my chin and my jaw, you know what I'm saying, where I look like a little wolf, you know, just always looking up at somebody, yeah, and they just had all these muscles in my jaws back then when I was in my early 20s and mid-20s, yeah, so yeah, they said people was intimidated by me, yeah, so he said they tend to give him more money for a pair of jeans or a pair of shoes or a shirt or something, one of them fitted caps he had, yeah. But we got our hands in all kinds of little petty stuff, and then there was other stuff that I can't talk. Oh, one time, let me tell you this. One time, this little white dude was riding a bike, and me and my homeboy, we was talking real loud, talking real tough, and this white dude was riding by, he was just looking at us sideways on his bike, and we just turned looking, I'm like, what's this dude looking at? So then, we all the way back up the street. Guess who come up behind us and try to ride they bike right in between me and my homeboy on the sidewalk? This little white dude come through just staring, sizing us up, looking at me and looking at him, ride through on his bike real slow like he tough, because he heard the way we was talking all tough. But I swung him, pop! Pieced him up. He fell off his bike. He jumped back up, started running at me. I square up with him. He started running at me. My homeboy, no, he started running at me, my bad. And I swear, when I reared back to swing at him. He take off running across the street. My homeboy went off like a dog. He sounded like he was screaming all crazy. Sounded like he was barking like a dog. Chased that dude all the way behind the house. Dude jumped the fence. But he got away from my homeboy. My homeboy took off. When I lit that dude up and that dude ran at me and I squared up and I reared back to punch him, yeah, and he took off running. Yeah, my homeboy took off. When my homeboy seen him run, my homeboy see red. He took off running, chasing behind them houses. He said, dude jump. Well, he said, dude jump the fence. When I said, did you get him? He said, nah, dude jump the fence and everything. Yeah, behind the house and stuff. Yeah, he chased him all the way back through there. Yeah, my homeboy saw. He was talking. Like he was speaking in tongues. He was speaking in tongues or something. Yeah, just sounded like he was barking like a dog. Like I couldn't even understand nothing he was saying. Yeah, we had our hands in all kinds of stuff. Yeah. Yeah. But nah, we was just little petty criminals, little petty criminals. That's all we was, little petty criminals, trying to make a name for ourselves. Just trying to make a name for ourselves. And you look back on that stuff, you like, that was so dumb. You look back on that stuff, you like, that was so freaking dumb. That stuff was so freaking dumb. I mean, what was we doing? What was we doing? We thought that was cool. I like, that wasn't cool. That wasn't cool. That was like you trying to be cool, and yeah. Everybody goes through that phase in their life. Everybody goes through that phase in their life, and then they look back and like, dude, that's not even cool. Yeah, what was I thinking? Yeah, everybody goes through that. Yeah. I ain't later, Nelly, now. And while I was saying he would push the shopping cart around Walmart, he would go in the thing where you change. I thought I said that, but I left that out. I was going over what I was saying. make sure I said everything right. And then he would go in the thing where you change into the clothes. He would push the shopping cart up to there, and then he would go in there and change the clothes. He would ask the lady if she could unlock it, or the dude if he could unlock it, and then go in there changing clothes, put a bunch of clothes on up under his clothes, then he'd walk out with them. But the jackets he just put on in the aisles. He just put a bunch of jackets on in the aisles and walk out with it. Yeah. But the clothes he go and change in the changing room at Walmart or one of them other stores or something. Yeah. But yeah, yeah. I went back over because I'm going back over to make sure I got everything. Well, I didn't get close to everything, but to make sure I didn't leave nothing out on the stories that I was telling. Yeah, but yeah. All right, so I'm going back over them right now. Yeah. And I got a part wrong. I got a part wrong about that fight I got into with the big, tall, light-skinned dude at the transit center. When I said I slung him up against the wall and then slung him into the ground, but on his way down, he hit the steps. It wasn't no steps. My bad. I went back over it. It wasn't no steps. It was the chairs. He hit himself on the chairs. And then the little chairs that they're screwed into the ground, the little benches, the chairs, benches, whatever, they're screwed into the ground. He hit himself on the benches, and then he hit the ground. But yeah, it wasn't no steps he hit himself on. It was I said he hit himself on the steps. My bad. It was benches, chairs. Well, they're not chairs. They're benches. I call them chairs, benches, whatever. The same thing. But they're all lined up and down, going up and down through the transit. That's what he hit himself on as I slung him on the ground from the wall to the ground. He hit himself on the benches and then hit the ground. And then yeah. And then the fight went on. Whatever. Yeah. Yeah, I had to go back over and listen to each one of these voice messages to make sure I got everything correct, to make sure I got all the stories correct. Yeah. So yeah, now they're correct. Now the stories are correct. Now, all right, later, Nelly. Now. And I forgot one thing when I said my homeboy were climbing to the white Benz at the Salvation Army. You know the white Benz that say Salvation Army on it that people put their donations in with the black garbage bags or the white garbage bags. They stuff them in there. Well, he would climb in and push them out. And then we'd get first dibs on the stuff of the Salvation Army before the people that work there take it in the morning. Before the people that work there take it in the morning. But there was all kinds of stories that I ain't told you. All kinds of violent stories and thieving stories that I ain't told you. Yeah, some stuff I can't even talk about because it's too extreme. Yeah, but yeah. Alright, later. But that's what I was talking about when I said he climbed into the white Benz and stuff. That the white Salvation Army bands that people put it down there. Yeah, I don't think you understood it when up there at the top when I was telling you about, so I had to explain myself. Yeah. Alright, later. And the white Salvation Army bins didn't have furniture and just had bags full of clothes and other stuff in it. And then there was 2 trash cans over there. He would climb in the trash cans and get stuff out of all kinds of bike lights and other stuff. I never got in them dumpsters. Them dumpsters look nasty. But he get all kinds of cool stuff out of there. And then the furniture was up on a ramp and up against the back of the building. Up at the furniture, the mattresses and the couches and the recliners and stuff. And like, believe it or not, you can put a couch in have half of it sticking out of a buggy and push that across. We used to push that stuff across. We used to put mattresses up on a buggy, push them across town to my apartment. We'll put a recliner, lay a recliner on the buggy, and I just support. I have one hand up on holding it, supporting it, so it don't fall off, and then the other hand pushing. But sometimes it will fall off, and we just put it back on there, whether it was a mattress, a couch, or whatever, a recliner. It'll fall off and on. We just pick it up, put it back on there. Yeah. But sometimes the mattress or couch, or not the couch, the mattress or the recliner fall off, and we just pick it up, put it back on there. But then we put the couch in, and then the other end be sticking out the front end, just hanging over the front end, and then we just push the buggy, yeah. But sometimes the mattress to fall off, or the recliner, we just pick it up off and on, put it back on there, yeah. And it only took one of us to push that and support what we was pushing. He have his buggy full of stuff, I have my buggy full of stuff, yeah. But yeah, so yeah. Alright, later. And none of these stories are true, y'all. None of these stories is true. I'm a fake thug, a fake gangster, you know. Hey.
yeah, none of these stories are true. It's all made up. It's all fairy tales. It's all tall tales. It's all tall tales coming from Cliff Oliver. Tall tales coming from Cliff Oliver. Tall tales coming from Cliff Oliver. Yeah. Story time with Cliff Oliver. I got a good imagination, a heck of imagination, y'all. I can make up some crazy stories and make them sound real. And make them sound real.
And the and the white Salvation Army bins didn't have furniture and just had bags full of clothes and other stuff in it. And then there was two trash cans over there. He would climb in the trash cans and get stuff out of all kinds of bike lights and other stuff. I never got in them dumpsters. Them dumpsters look nasty. But he'd get all kinds of cool stuff out of there. And then the furniture was up on a ramp and up against the back of the building. Up at the furniture, the mattresses and the couches and the recliners and stuff. And like, believe it or not, you can put a couch in have half of it sticking out of a buggy and push that across. We used to push that stuff across. We used to put mattresses up on a buggy, push them across town. In my apartment, we'll put a recliner, lay a recliner on the buggy, and I just have one hand up on holding it, supporting it, so it don't fall off, and then the other hand pushing. But sometimes it will fall off, and then we just put it back on there, whether it was a mattress, a couch, or whatever, a recliner. It fall off, and on we just.
Oh, and another thing is, like if we did get a couch or a mattress, we would only have the couch in there by itself, push it all the way across town back to my crib. Then we'll go back, get the recliner, or get a couch, one or the other, push it back across town. Then we'll go back and get another furniture item. We're pushing one at a time because we would stay moving. I walked like 100 to 200 miles. I was all over. All day, all night, yeah, until I was like sleep for like several hours, several hours, and wake up, do it again, yeah. And me and my homeboy, yeah. I say we probably walk from like 100 to 200 miles a day, yeah. And I hardly ever drunk water back then. That's the thing. I hardly ever drunk water. I had like 3 or 4 glasses of water a day doing all that walking. Because I wasn't hip that water keep you alive. I didn't know that back then. So God was watching over me because I should have been passed out somewhere, like laid out somewhere from dehydration. But yeah, I made it all the way through to now. Yeah, alright, later.
Oh, and another thing is, we like if we did get a couch or a mattress, we would only have the couch in there by itself, push it all the way across town back to my crib. Then we'll go back, get the recliner, get a couch, one or the other, push it back across town. Then we'll go back and get another furniture item. We're pushing one at a time because we would stay moving. I walked like 100 to 200 miles. I was all over, all day, all night, yeah, until I was like sleep for like several hours, several hours, and wake up, do it again, yeah. And me and my homeboy, yeah. I say we probably walked from like 100 to 200 miles a day, yeah. And I hardly ever drunk water back then. That's the thing. I hardly ever drunk water. I had like 3 or 4 glasses of water a day doing all that walking. Because I wasn't hip that water keep you alive. I didn't know that back then. So God was watching over me because I should have been passed out somewhere, like laid out somewhere from dehydration. But yeah, I made it all the way through to now. Yeah, alright, later.
And sometimes we would go across the street to Kroger or go if we was at those Salvation Armies posted up all over town. But so if we was on the one out Limestone, we would go across the street to Kroger and we'd get 2 buggies, and then he'll put a recliner in there and I'll put a couch in there, or if we want a recliner, a couch, whatever was out there, he'll put a mattress in there and I'll put a recliner or either a couch, one or the other, in my buggy, and then we'll just push it back together all the way across town to where I lived, yeah. Yeah, so yeah. Oh yeah, well, anyways, later.
And sometimes we would go across the street to Kroger or go, if we was at those Salvation Armies posted up all over town. But so if we was on the one out Limestone, we would go across the street to Kroger and we'd get 2 buggies, and then he'll put a recliner in there and I'll put a couch in there, or if we want a recliner, a couch, whatever was out there, he'll put a mattress in there and I'll put a recliner or either a couch, one or the other, in my buggy, and then we'll just push it back together all the way across town to where I lived, yeah. Yeah, so yeah. Oh, yeah, well, anyways, later.
But none of these stories are true, y'all. It's all made up. It's all fictional. Story time with Cliff Oliver. I got a heck of an imagination, y'all. Heck of an imagination. I come up with some off-the-wall stuff, and I'm comedy. I'm comedy because I tell some stories and have people rolling. Have people cracking up, have people rolling. Some stories that ain't real. Some stories that ain't real. I call myself an internet gangster because I'm trying to I'm trying to entertain the people on YouTube, Instagram, TikTok. YouTube, Instagram, TikTok, you know, just making up stories, just lying about stuff, just making up stories, just telling all kinds of fairy tales and fibs and lies and made up stories, yo. And they be sounding good and juicy. You just want to eat it up. Like, what? This stuff sound real. This stuff sound real, but it's not real, y'all. It's fake. The stories are fake, y'all. Alright, later.